we got the Pulse Asia to do a report card survey on our frontline service delivery, and for which I'm very proud to tell you that it's also because of the PGS that we improved a great deal in our frontline service delivery, so that one of the questions in the survey was a client satisfaction rating, feedback that was generated, and in that survey we scored a 98% client satisfaction rating, which is a very high, extremely high, and we were shocked ourselves. But there you are. If an agency submits itself, makes the bold decision to submit itself to a third-party independent evaluator or assessor, then it wakes up the entire organization and says, oh, and then all of a sudden, ang galing pala. No? So all of a sudden, there's a realization, kaya pala natin. And our RCS score on compliance with ARTA was 87, which was only 3 points shy of an excellent rating. And we did exceed our target, because our target for 2011 was only to get a fair rating. Not that we were not ambitious, but I didn't want to shock the organization, too soon, too much too soon. So I said, okay, a fair rating would be good enough. But then, you see, that's the good thing about this PGS. You get to realize the organization collectively realizes its potential. And so now we saw, we even exceeded our target. No?
Great.
So,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Are there other questions from the floor? Yes, ma'am. Please stand up so we can see you. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Emma Teodoro, and I'm here for National Competitiveness Council, Export Development Council, and PhilExport. I would like to ask, because the Secretary, Dr. Duque, explained the strategy that's being taken to improve actually the manpower, government manpower, HR. And with the number of government employees that we have, how are you planning to be able to measure the performance of the individuals so that this can be related to the overall performance of the agency and the government? Because I think with hundreds of thousands of employees, this is going to be a very big undertaking. So I would like to know if there's a plan. Are you going to automate, or how are you going to use the, make sure that the indicators are actually giving the right numbers?
Yeah. Director Victoria, please.
Okay, so the question is, how are we going to align individual performance with the organizational performance due to the fact that there are many employees? And you made mention also of automation. Now, information system is one of the enabling mechanisms that would make the SPMS truly effective. But it doesn't mean that without the IT we cannot do SPMS. The first thing that we're going to ensure when we use the SPMS is to make sure that the individual scorecard or the individual performance commitment review of the employee is aligned to the agency strategy goals. The agency strategy goals are translated into major final outputs that are also aligned with the DBM OPIF. Now, it is the duty of the immediate supervisor to make sure that indeed there is alignment. Now, the agency head is also primarily responsible in ensuring that each and every individual under his or her jurisdiction, their duties and responsibilities are truly aligned with the strategies identified by the agency. Now, what I would like to focus in the SPMS is that we should be able to graduate from measuring activities and inputs. The focus of SPMS is measuring outputs, outcomes, and whenever possible, impacts. Although we know that impacts is quite difficult. Now let me give an example. No, most of our performance indicators are, let's say for example, number of trainings conducted. That is an activity. That is an input. when we measure output, what should that be? It should be the it should be the results after the intervention. So it should be number of graduates of this particular intervention and training. But we do not end also with measuring the output. So what if you were able to accomplish the output? Now what will, let's say for example, if there are graduates of a particular training of a frontline service, are there changes in the institution with the way the service is delivered? Then that would be measuring the outcome. So if service, or let's say frontline services, are truly improved, then is WANA or WANA satisfied, then that would be impact. The client satisfaction of the services being delivered are truly improved. So we focus on outputs, outcomes, and then whenever possible, impacts. So we measure each and every individual performance.
Okay, are there other questions from the floor? I have a question. Chairman, is there, in the local government area, have you disseminated or given target outputs for local governments to provide these kinds of services? For example, building permit in 2 days, business permit in 1 day. Because Chairman Mr. Luz was complaining that the Philippines is number 158 in the business-friendly or least-friendly country. And so I think a lot of intervention needs to be done in this area. No? Are there targets specifically to be able to say to local governments, hi guys, we got to target this kind of maybe performance indicators, no? And so if everybody knows that there's a benchmark, maybe everyone will try harder to attain that kasi that's the benchmark, di ba? Para they know, 120 days to get a business license, that's too long, It should be 2 days. Or, to get a building permit, what? 60 days, Sometimes, in government, I always say that if it takes too long, someone's waiting to be negotiated. Diba? So you want fast service in order to remove that the preconception or that notion.
Yeah. Well,
that people are waiting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Citizens Charter should capture the stepwise processes, the fees to be paid. So that way you avoid under the table, payments. Fixing activities have been criminalized under the Republic Act 9485 or the Anti-Red Tape Act of 2007. And then, we checked for the presence of public complaints and assistance desk. That's fairly straightforward. We checked for the implementation of a no lunch break policy, so which means that people can continue to be provided the service even during lunch break. No lunch break policy doesn't mean no lunch. I mean, you can eat your lunch earlier, you get people, skeletal force to process. And then, of course, the law is very clear on how many days the agency is supposed to approve an application for license or for permit. If the process is fairly simple, it shouldn't take more than 5 days. That's very clear in the law. If it's a complex transaction, then you're allowed no more than 10 days to approve the application. Now for renewals, it's also the same. If you don't move after 10 days, my memory serves me right, that's if you don't renew it despite the completeness of the documents, then that will be presumed as having been extended. Yes. And so we have all of this, a checklist of things that the local government units ought to comply with based on the ARTA law. But I will be the first to admit that our plate is full at the moment doing RCS for the national government agencies. And this is the reason why we had signed a memorandum of agreement with the DILG.